Hey everyone, it's the Baccarat father here. Um, just wanted to give a quick shout out to Richard 4076. He actually went through my videos where I count cards, and he said I won 43 times and I lost 18, I think. So I was just asking for how many in a row I lost on one video, and Richard went the extra mile. So quick shout out to you. Real quick too, if you guys can start liking and subscribing and sharing and commenting, it just all helps the channel grow. And speaking of the channel growing, huge shout out to Brunson FX at BFX Baccarat. I'm just a small channel, and he discovered me and ended up really liking my systems, and he started playing them on his channel, and then he sent his subscribers to me, and my channel blew up like overnight. I think I got like almost 100 more subscribers now since his recommendations. So I probably should just call my channel Baccarat Father FX, because I've got a lot of his subscribers now. So hi to all you guys out there who are new to the channel. It's very appreciative. And Brunson FX, thank you very much. Anybody who is not subscribed to him, you need to go to his channel and check his stuff out. He also counts cards, but he does something I don't do. I don't do patterns, and he knows pretty much every pattern there is in the game. I think I even saw, I'm a huge golfer, and I think he even has one where he looks for a freaking golf club. So shout out again to Brunson. Thank you so much for helping this little channel grow. And what you guys get is you guys get the best of both worlds, because I tend to play a little safe. Brunson plays a little more aggressive than I do, just a smidge. But just think of it as the Baccarat Father's in the Sunday drive in the slow lane, and Brunson is pedal to the metal, flipping me off as he goes by. So, good way to look at it. But that being said, I'm here to teach you a new system. It is kind of like how I did the Mag 6, and I showed you the second version, which is hopscotch. This is the second version to bank robber. It's just a way to play it a little bit longer, more slow and steady. And I'm actually going to give you a little bit of money management that I do. I don't know if this is on anybody else's channel. I've never seen it. I'm not here to steal anything. I do things that come up in my head. I test them out. If they work, I go with it. So if you guys bet this way, leave a comment. Let me know that you already bet this way, or you've seen it on somebody else's channel. I'd be curious to know. I call it the 1-2 punch. So let's just go ahead and get into how to play Casino Heist. It's just gonna have a couple differences from bank robber, but like I said, the main thing is we're gonna do the 1-2 punch betting style. So that should be more of a slow and steady grind, and it's kind of designed to where we can take a beating and we won't lose that much money, hopefully, if we do lose. But what we're looking for is to eventually catch a winning streak, and that will jump us up and cover a lot of our losses. So let's get into the Casino Heist. Same thing as bank robber. We're going to deal one hand, and we got a 0, so I guess we're getting right into it. Remember, if you look at the low score, it's kind of like our coin flip of where we're out in the parking lot, we're staking out the area, and we're gonna make our break in now. So what we're gonna do is, after every loss, we're going to bet the same bet. So if you're betting $10, if you lose a hand, you keep betting $10. You always bet the same after a loss. After a win, we do what I call the 1-2 punch. So if we bet $10 and win, the next bet we're going to bet $20. If we win that, win or lose, we go back to 10. But every time we win, we're just going to keep going like a jab, like a boxer jabbing, 1-2 punch. We're going to go 10, 20, 10, 20, 10, 20 until we lose, and we're just at 10 until we win again. So, trying to explain it, but it's easier if you just watch me do it. So let's get into the Casino Heist. The only difference is we're not going, if we lose a hand, we're not going to chase 3 in a row. We're going to try one. We're going to try to steal one. That's our heist. And if that don't work, we're going to go back to doing our math and skipping. So 2 minus 0 is the player. We're going to put $100 on the player and get started with the heist. Seven minus 7 is 0. We're skipping 0 hands and we're on the player. Two ties in a row, huh? All right, we got that one. So we're going to do the 1-2 punch. 7 minus 2 is 5. We're going to skip 2 hands. We're going to go 200 to the banker. All right, so now we're going back to $100. Skip 1 hand, 100 to the player. Sometimes skipping helps, sometimes it hurts. Like I said, it's everybody's preference. If you don't want to skip hands and you are that person that likes to bet every single hand, go for it. I like to minimize the bets though. So we're skipping 1 hand and we're going to bet 100 on the player. So after a loss, we always just go to our original bet. Now we are going to skip 2 hands. 7 minus 5 is 2. Since the low score is a 5, we only skip no more than 4 hands. So 7 minus 5 is 2. We're going to skip 2 hands and we're going to go 200 to the player. Now we're going to skip 4 hands and go 100 to the banker. It's just a slow and steady play. And hopefully, like I said, the goal is to hit a few in a row with the 1-2 punch. 2 hands. Banker. Staying on the banker, back to our 100, the 1-2 punch. And we're still on the banker. Eight minus 5 is 3. I think I messed up a little bit. I'll get back into it, but I'm supposed to try to steal one after a loss. Sorry. 8 minus 5 is 3. So we are going to skip 3 hands. And we're going to be on the player. It's hard to talk and teach at the same time. Unless you're a teacher at a school, I guess. All right, now we hit the 1, we hit the 2, We're on the banker, back to our 1. Now we're going to stick to our 1, but go to the player. I'm just using that as the result. The result happened. Once the result happened, I'm just going to do the math. So now we are skipping 1 hand and doing the 200 to the player. This is where the 1-2 punch kicks in, when you can start winning a couple in a row. Skipping 3 hands, we're on the banker. All right, so we lost that one. Now, instead of doing the math, which would be skipping 1 hand, this is where you're supposed to do the heist, and we're gonna try to steal 1. And we did. So sometimes it gets a little confusing because you're so used to doing the math and skipping, but after a loss, you try to steal 1 the next hand. That's the whole point of the heist. And then if you lose that one, you go back to your math. Hopefully that's cleared up. So now we are skipping 1 hand and we're on 200 to the player. Now we are skipping 2 hands and going 100 to the banker. One of the situations where skipping hurt us, but that's okay. We are going to just stay on the banker and try to steal it back. Now we go back to our math. Skip 2 hands and we're going to the player. It's all right. See, it's designed to kind of take a beating like this, because when we can hit our 1-2 punch, we can afford a lot of these losses right here. Skip 1 hand, go to the player. And it's up to you when you want to end the shoe. You don't have to play the entire shoe. I don't ever like to play the entire shoe. So this is just demonstration purposes. We're going to skip 1 hand, go to the banker. Look at all these losses that we take and we're this beating, and we're still in profit because of the way we're betting. Now we're going to go to the player. I use my ties as the outcome. Now we're going to do our 1-2 punch to the banker. And because we lost, we're going to bet 100, but we're going to try to steal it with the banker. We're not worried about the math. And now we go skip 1 hand and do our 1-2 punch, 200. Skip 1 hand, player for 100. Banker for 100. Oh. I messed up again, but oh my goodness. Sorry guys, we got lucky there. We got a win, but So now we're gonna skip one hand and do our 1-2 punch to the player. It's a lot easier when you're not trying to show other people what you're doing, so you'll be able to focus more than I am right now. So the low score is a 3. 7 minus 3 is 4. Skip 3 hands, 100 to the player. So we lost there. We're just going to stay on it for one time, like we're supposed to, and try to steal it back. That's how you do it. That's how the system goes. Oh, okay. Who thought of that? So now we're going to skip one hand and do our 1-2 punch to the banker. Now we're skipping. Oops, almost did it again. We're going to try to steal it back with the banker. So now we do our get back to our math. Eight minus 7 is 1. We're going to skip one hand and go to the player. Look at that, guys. We're starting to take our beating again, but we're still in good profit. We're going to skip one hand and go to the player. We've lost so many in a row now that it's hard to keep track. So we're going to skip 3 hands and go to the player. All we need to do is just hit a couple more little 1-2 punch and we'll be fine. It's been so long since we won. Like I said, that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to just be slow and steady. And look, we're taking an absolute beating, but we're still in profit. Oh, there's our win, and we could do the 1-2 punch to the banker. So, if you wanted to, though, you could have stopped I would have stopped a long time ago. Obviously, when I was up $1,000, or if you were betting $10, it'd have been up 100. You don't have to play the entire shoe, but it's just meant for a slow grind. Got a little confusing when I started losing so many in a row. I kind of lost track of what I was doing, but it just goes to show you that you can take a beating and you really don't lose a whole lot of money if you do lose. So, and if you prefer it not to skip or after a loss, if you want to just keep doing the math, you can very well do that as well. You don't have to try to steal one if it gets too confusing for you to do that way. Just keep doing the math. But the best way I like to do it is to, after a loss, try to steal one and then start doing the math. But when you lose like 5 or 6 in a row, you tend to kind of lose track of what you're doing sometimes, because you only want to try to steal one, if that makes sense. But other than that, ask me any questions. Hopefully it wasn't too confusing. I know I messed up on some stuff, but hopefully you got the idea. The betting style, 1-2 punch. And I think you guys can at least do a little slow grind this way and manage your money a little bit better. So until the next time, I will talk to you guys later.